So what are the expectations for tomorrow's CPI data report? What's going on, team? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. Before we even start today's video, I do want to let you guys know that I am debating if I should either host a private or public live stream of the actual CPI data report. So you guys can let me know down in the comment section or based off of the likes of this video. If this video gets over 1,500 likes, I'll make it public, which means free to everyone on my YouTube channel. So all you have to do is subscribe, or if it doesn't, right, then I'll just hold it exclusively for our Learn Plan Profit team. So I'll let you guys decide if you want me to host that live stream. Just make sure you smash that like button. I did upload a video yesterday talking about the previous 6 CPI data reports, looking at what the expectations were and how the market reacted. Today, I actually want to look at the market expectation for the CPI data report for tomorrow, right? So as you guys can see, our last CPI data report was on December 13th, 2022. And our next one, as you can see here, is January 12th, 1 hour before the market opens at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So that is tomorrow. Now, what is the CPI data report? What exactly does it tell us? We'll get into that in just a little bit. I do have a full video that actually explains it in detail, but in a very quick breakdown, this is a month over month, right? So every month there is a reporting on inflation. That's what this CPI data report is, the Consumer Price Index. It's inflation on the consumer side of things. And it tracks inflation if it's going up or down in these specific line items. There's energy, there's food, there's commodities, there's services, all that good stuff, right? And it tracks this month over month. So what it's going to be reporting tomorrow is, although it's released in January, January is not complete, right? So we're actually reporting the inflation in December, right? Because now December is complete, and then it gets released. That report gets released on the following month, right? So we can see that November was reported. This was the last month. And one of the things that we saw in the month of November is energy prices. As you guys have seen, gasoline has gone down. Energy prices has been going down, and energy has been one of the biggest contributors for inflation. So what's to come, right? How much better can things get? We went from, I wanted to show you guys this. We went from a 9.1 inflation rate to now sitting at, as of last month, 7.1%, which was what was reported. Now, my question that you should be, my question that I was asking and that you should be asking is, okay, well, we all know that whatever's reported, the market will go up or down depending on expectation. So what is the expectation for tomorrow? Is it expected to be lower than 7.1%, or is it expected to be higher, right? And when looking at market expectations for the report tomorrow, for the CPI data report, the forecast is 6.5%. Remember, we went from 7.7% down to 7.3. That's a 4% drop, right? 0.4% drop. This is a significant drop. That market expects inflation to go from 7.1% to 6.5%. Now, what can happen if this report comes in lower than expected? I'm going to keep today's video super short and sweet. Well, most likely, and it's never guaranteed because market does whatever it wants, right? And based off of yesterday's video, if you guys didn't check it out, I literally go back to the previous 6 CPI data reports and I talk about where the market's at, and then once it's released, how the market actually reacts. I think it's very interesting, especially if you've never experienced the CPI data report. It might be of value for you just to look at previous reportings and how and the volatility that presents itself. So if CPI data, right, with the expectation is now understood to be 6.5%. We're currently sitting at 7.1%. Let's say that CPI data report comes in a little bit higher than what was expected. Expectation is 6.5. Let's say that it comes in at 6.7, 6.8. That necessarily is not good news. That means that inflation is not going down as quick as expected. The market will most likely drop, not guaranteed, but it will most likely drop. Now, if inflation comes in way hotter than expected, meaning that if we were at 7.1% last month, our expectation is 6.5%, it's possible, right? But what if it comes in at 7.2? What if it comes in at 7.1? Right? What if it comes in higher than what was actually reported the previous month? then I mean, that's as close to guaranteed as the market dropping as we will get, right? Now, if the market ends up reporting a lower than expected CPI data report, which a lot of people do not believe, but again, my job here is not to try to predict, it's just to talk about the potential outcomes. If it comes in lower than 6.5%, let's say like 6.4, 6.3, that means that inflation is actually dropping quicker than expected, which is a good thing, right? That means that the Federal Reserve can justify being less aggressive with their future interest rate hikes, and that is good for the overall economy, right? Because the Federal Reserve has a goal of bringing down inflation, raising interest rates, and really slowing down the economy to stunt job growth. So this would really support the case of, hey, Federal Reserve, you don't need to be as aggressive because things are actually getting better and quicker than expected, or getting better quicker than expected. Yeah, so what I said, I guess, was right. But I wanted to make sure that you guys understand market expectation, which is now 6.5% for tomorrow's CPI data report, and how the market could react if this report comes in higher or lower than expected. Now, one thing that we talked about yesterday is where the market currently sits based off of overall support levels and overall resistance levels. As of right now, we're kind of mid-range, right? We're right around that 275, 280 area. Our support range is right around the 255, 260. Resistance is right around the 290, 300. So in the middle, right? And often when we see ourselves in this position, I mean, as long as we report what is expected, it should be a fair day tomorrow. My concern is if we do not, right? One thing that we've seen increase a lot is a lot of food products. Now, food products are not included in core inflation, but it is included in overall inflation. And that's also another thing to take into consideration is, again, this is where it kind of sounds a little bit confusing, but there's two forms of inflations that are pretty much tracked, right? There's core CPI and overall CPI. Overall CPI includes energy and food, right? Food and energy. Energy is one of the biggest contributors for inflation, but because the Federal Reserve understands that they cannot control the demand nor supply of energy and food, they exclude it from core CPI. So core CPI is everything excluding food and energy. So I just wanted to make sure that you understand that. And I can reassure you one thing, right? Regardless of how the market reacts tomorrow, which we will be live streaming, right? It is not your job to predict the future, right? One of the best pieces of advice that I can have, at least from my experience, and you can let me know down in the comment section, is to not put yourself in a hopeful position. There's nothing wrong with being invested. There's nothing wrong with having an open position as long as you can tolerate worst case scenario. Because that's really what it comes down to, especially after the video that I uploaded yesterday. Market could react in a negative way initially, but then the days that follow, it could recover, or vice versa. It could react in a positive way initially and then sell off the days that follow. So one day does not define a market recovery, not even with a specific inflation report. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys are reminded of that. So let me go ahead and go back to TQs. I'm going to have to reduce my position size here a little bit. So I'm going to go from 5,050 shares, and I'm going to reduce it to, I'm going to sell half. So I'm going to do 25. I'm going to put my limit order. We have a slight resistance right around that $19 price point. So during today's live trading session with the LPP team, there's that very common resistance level that was present even 2 days ago. So if you actually look back 2 days ago, that same resistance level, and that's something that we were talking about. And again, friendly reminder, I do trade live every morning with our LPP team. It's not something that you have to be a part of, but again, if you've never seen someone trade live, if you think that it would be of value for you as a complete beginner to get access, to be able to see, what it's like to see someone buy, what it's like to see someone sell, their thought process, their green days, their red days. This is something that I do every single day right at market open. And again, you get to experience it firsthand. The Learn Plan Profit team is the only team that I work with on a closer basis. I offer nothing else. And it's the second link in the description down below. Even right now, not only are we running our biggest sell, and it's the second link in the description, it's $150 off. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access. And on top of that, right, you also get a free mystery box. We're giving away a free mystery box. So once you purchase Learn Plan Profit, we provide you a nice little link here. And in this link, once you click on it, it actually sends you on over to our website. You select your size, you get a free Wall Street tee, a free Wall Street flag, a free trading journal to be able to track your trades, and a free mouse pad. All included in the free mystery box. Just select your size, add it to your cart, and then at the checkout, it actually applies automatically. You have to go all the way to checkout to get that free mystery box. And again, that is only for those that sign up for Learn Plan Profit 2.0 in the next couple of days. It's only for new members. And again, if you've been debating if you've wanted to join or not, then again, just understand that right now we are giving away a free mystery box with every new member, and that is provided for you on the thank you page once you purchase Learn Plan Profit 2.0, and that's that second link in the description down below. If you have any questions whatsoever, send me a direct message via Discord. That's that first link, or via Instagram, and that's that third link. We are hosting our new giveaway, right? So that's the Apple Watch Ultra, but that's for shoptechbuds.com. So for every $1 that you spend on the site, it equals 5 automatic entries. If, again, you're already part of LPP and or you're not part of it yet, but you want to pick up some trading mouse pads, some trading apparel, some Wall Street, aluminum art, we got periodic elements, some flags, even all of this, right? This is all available at shoptechbuds.com or the fourth link in the description down below. So very excited for tomorrow. There's no question that the market will react. Just depending on what it is that's reported will determine if we react in a positive or negative way. But nonetheless, again, our job is to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. And I think that's the best thing that we can share for any of our beginners out there, is to not put yourself in a position that you can't tolerate. So like always, hope that it earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.